Why you never do business with family. Don't end up in the friend zone. Why is it that we constantly hear professionals in the real estate industry complain that their sister hired their competition instead of helping them earn a paycheck, or a neighbor or a friend? There are certain times when you should absolutely not represent a family member or friend in real estate. In several circumstances, it is simply illegal. In other circumstances, it's just a very bad idea. Hi, I'm Bert, your favorite real estate photographer and marketing pro. And today we're going to unpack the answer as to why so often your family members, friends, and neighbors hire your competition instead of you. It's actually quite simple. If they are not receiving marketing from you, they are not actually in your sphere of influence. Whereas your friends were receiving frequent communication from a real estate professional who did have them in their sphere of influence. So what efforts did you invest to stay top of mind with your friend? When's the last time you sent that relative, neighbor, or friend your marketing mailing? When did you take them to lunch to talk about business? So shame on you for getting all butthurt when you didn't do your job. According to a study by the National Association of Realtors, 73% of buyers only interviewed one real estate agent during the home search. So when your competition was actively building a business relationship, you were still in the friend zone. Shame on you. Stop expecting someone else to hire you just because they know you. They know 20 other realtors too. So don't expect a friend to do a favor with the most expensive asset they own. Be professional and earn their business by showing them that you are the most qualified to help them. And quit making them feel guilty or weird about making a decision that's in their own best interest with their most prized possession. Now, there are times when you should absolutely not represent your family member or friend. So this would be a good excuse to take an attorney to lunch and chat about a strategic partnership to help one another. So in this case, you'll want to ask that attorney when you should not be a family member or friend's real estate representative. If you're acting on behalf of a friend or family member who has appointed you as a beneficiary in their will, you have now triggered a vested interest clause in this property transaction. So there may be additional rules, disclosures, and laws that you must follow in this case. And also, many insurance policies will not protect your business when you have a vested personal interest. Also, be cautious of the pitfalls of dual agency, as the other party could file a lawsuit claiming that you gave your friend preferential treatment or did not properly disclose something that you as an expert should have more knowledge of. This is why many times a realtor will hire another agent to sell their own personal home. Another danger zone that could trigger claims of fraud is when the home is in a family trust or a special needs trust, or when there is a short sale involved, a 1031 exchange, or an ex-spouse is involved. Perhaps your friend's business is going through a lawsuit or similar type of legal scenario where there could be conflicts of interest. And you'd better think twice about submitting offers that waive home inspections or forego home warranties. When I did real estate planning, we had a saying that it's usually not the family members that cause all the conflicts and problems. It's usually the person they are sleeping with that have the most to say to steer them astray behind closed doors. Oftentimes, it's just a bad idea. We tend to let our guard down around friends and family, and that's when you start to get sloppy by not having them sign an exclusive buyer's agreement or slacking on other documentation and formalities. The ones who know you the best tend to take the professional relationship very casually. So they will call at all hours of the nights and weekend and use you for information. And then they turn around and end up paying someone else to actually do the transaction. But here's the deal. Your friends and family members know all about your past, all about your mistakes, the last time you got drunk or got a ticket. They heard when you failed the real estate exam the first time. They heard you complain about how you did not get your last 5 offers accepted. They knew you when you got your first job at McDonald's. So it's just very hard for them to unpack all of that baggage to now see you as a professional real estate expert. They've heard you complain about previous clients, and they don't want to be your next victim. Real estate often brings out the worst in people. It's very stressful, and they don't want to ruin a valued lifelong relationship. After all, it is the most expensive asset they own. Now, the second hurdle is they don't want you knowing all their dirty little secrets. They don't want you knowing their financial business. They don't want you knowing that they had a bankruptcy or bad credit in their past. They don't want you knowing that they'll struggle getting a loan. And they probably think that you're too nice when they really want a tough asshole negotiating for them. This right here is the very reason why you should not listen to the advice that drives 90% of realtors into a struggling business failure. If you want to rely on your sphere of influence, your friends, neighbors, and family to make your business a success, you will be miserable. You'll lose friends, not want to talk to family members, feel greatly offended, and you'll start drinking heavily into depression and have lack of self-confidence. So wake up and realize that you do not really know enough people to make your business a success. It's time to come up with a new battle plan, a business plan, and realize that you are in the marketing business, and sales is a contact sport. So you'd better get serious about building relationships with strangers. Next, get yourself out of the friend zone with your friends. It is imperative that you change their perception of you. You must start marketing to them professionally, because I guarantee you that 5 of your competitors are already communicating with them about the business of real estate. And the majority of people end up signing on with the first person they talk business with. So make sure that is you. Understand that your friends, neighbors, and family members are going to have objections with working with someone that they know and count as a friend. So stop gossiping to them about others. Communicate how seriously you take confidentiality. Because you care about them, you'll share some insider tips, tricks, and industry strategies that other agents won't. Because you know all about them, you're going to help them like no other to fix things that could harm their best interests, like credit blemishes or lack of down payment funds. Learn to tackle the objections right up front. And other times recognize where it just will not be pleasant, profitable, or a wise use of your time to help certain people. Oftentimes, your friends and family members expect you to do your work for half price or free. They see you as what I call a freelator. Oftentimes, friends and family have much higher expectations than your regular clients, which adds stress and miscommunications. And they interfere the most with you doing your job. Sometimes you got to place higher value on their long-term relationship instead of years of sour Thanksgivings or seeing them pull in across the street without having resentment or bad feelings. And if we're being truthful, we all know real estate transactions rarely go smoothly in the best of situations. That's why real estate often brings out the worst in people. It's a very stressful time. After all, countries fight wars over real estate. Their needs could simply be outside of your niche of expertise. Therefore, simply refer them to a colleague and collect a healthy referral fee. Now, one of the most respected responses I ever got from a real estate professional was when I'd been talking to a builder about my new house plans. That's when he said, "Bert, since we began talking 3 months ago, I've since taken on 5 new clients. My capacity is to build 10 homes a year, and I just simply will not ruin my reputation by poorly taking on more than I can personally and professionally manage. If I try to take on 1 or 2 more jobs, I'll end up hurting 6 other families and make mistakes and delays from being spread too thin. So I can't take on any new business at this moment. But if you can wait until next spring, I would be happy to onboard you. Otherwise, I can introduce you to a trusted colleague to help you out." Wow. After reflecting on that answer, I really respected his position. I ended up going with a referral from another friend and regretted that ever since. By now, I hope you're beginning to understand why so often your friends, family, colleagues, and neighbors end up paying someone else instead of you for real estate help. Don't end up being that 90% struggle statistic. Now, absolutely, keep working your sphere of influence with the people who know you. But, and this is another elephant in the room, big but, you just simply don't know enough people, And the ones you do know, well, you need to start working on changing their perception of you. Replace memories of bad baggage with logical reasons why working with you is a huge benefit. Because you know them and their needs more than some stranger does. You know their likes and hobbies. Therefore, you'll work harder for these extra bonuses because you understand that they really like to cook, so you're going to find a killer kitchen. You also know the reasons they bought this home, and you understand the reasons for moving on. You'll be more sensitive to protecting their privacy. You are taking it personal to help them succeed with their dreams. And if they perceive you as being inexperienced, remind them that you are the quarterback on the team, but you have a bunch of other specialists on your team to professionally navigate all of their real estate needs. Managing brokers, title specialists, other colleagues to fill in when you're not immediately available, transaction coordinators, professional marketing experts like me, finance specialists, licensed home inspectors, residential insurance specialists, and on and on. So they'd be silly to hire someone who isn't personally vested in their success, rather than handing their precious home off to some assistant like so many do. Now you can give them exclusive access to off-market homes that your colleagues are working on that other industry agents don't have access to. So your friend can beat the crowds before a home goes on the competitive market. What are some other reasons why it's an advantage for friends and family to work with you? Now, if you still strike out at getting them to say yes and sign the dotted line, then suggest offering to do this as a co-listing agreement, and you could refer a primary agent, where you just help with the marketing so they can keep their personal business private. That way, they get a twofer for the same price. The key is do not take casual shortcuts with your friends and family. Put them through a formal interview process and set proper expectations and clear boundaries. Get exclusive buyer agent contracts signed. Make it clear that while you cannot discount your commission, you can do things like get them services at cost, like marketing expenses, or you can include a $500 buyer's bonus for a full price offer, or professionally clean the carpets at their new home before they move in, or 1 month free at your buddy's storage facility so they can declutter. Don't assume their needs. Instead, ask them what they're trying to accomplish and what they want out of their real estate consultant. So get out there and start seeding your dreams to come true. See, I can already picture you developing a more profitable image. To your success. Bye for now.